What is up? What's up? Okay, so welcome to this edition of Hoodoo Metaphysics. Class is in session. Get in order, get your notebooks together, get your mind together. Take a couple of breaths in and out, because we need to get centered for this learning that's about to happen. So this edition of Hoodoo Metaphysics for my Patreon peoples is Roots and Herbs 101, Healing, Money, Love, and the Principle of Signatures. So we are going to be diving deep into an understanding of plants and their relative importance to hoodoo. So we're going to be talking about plant signatures. What exactly does that mean? We're going to be talking about shamanism. We're going to go a little bit into some Orisha mythology about herbalism, and then we're going to go into some examples of ways that you can use these herbs, ways that you can use different types of herbs. And I'm going to give you several examples using some sources that I have. So like I said, get your notebook together because we're about to really dive in. I got my wine. Slurp, slurp. Motherfucker, slurp, slurp. Okay, so let's get started. So hoodoo and herbalism go hand in hand. Herbalism is a faction of hoodoo. A lot of Native Americans and Black people interacted during slavery. And so a lot of Black people, along with the herbal knowledge brought here from Africa, also were influenced by herbalism from the Native American standpoint, because the Native Americans had been here. They knew the land. And I mean, both Black people and Native people were both land people. The spiritual cosmology centered around nature. And so they kind of already had the blueprint as far as understanding like why this stuff works. But they definitely worked with Native Americans to get an understanding for the different plants that exist here in the United States. And so let's get into what plant signatures are. So plant signatures, what is that? A plant signature basically is the plant's physical property, whatever kind of physical healing property it has, and then it also has a kind of astral property. So let's think about mint. So physically, it can be good for heightening your awareness, waking you up. It also has other types of health benefits. Metaphysically, it has a clearing kind of effect. We're gonna go over it a little bit. Sage, for instance, has a physical effect. It has lots of nutrients and stuff like that. Sage tea is really good for you, but also metaphysically, it has an effect in terms of it cleanses energy. And so you have different herbs like thyme for prosperity. Like I said, I'm going to go over a listing of these different types of herbs and their uses. But I also encourage you to do some research once you have the kind of metaphysical underpinning that you need in order to kind of just be able to intuitively work with different herbs, and put them together in a candle or working or something like that. And so this is common across cultures, this understanding of the fact that plants have physical properties as far as how they affect the body and as far as how they affect the aura or the person in the astral plane. And so if you've ever seen limpias, that is basically, I'm gonna show a video of it. that is basically someone using these plants to cleanse the astral self, and they are using different like encantos, like different sayings to cleanse away different types of spirits, the and so that is something that is like, you know, original to that culture. But limpias, also in Ifa, there are like head cleanses where you can get your like ori cleansed, which is basically, you can think of that as like your consciousness that connects you to the divine, your kind of awareness of everything. It can cleanse it to make it clearer so that you can be more of a receptacle to divine information. And so, also, I think I think in Vodou they have washes and spiritual baths. You know, you have where you like in spiritual baths. Definitely, they always encourage you to like work whatever herbs you have, like massage them whenever you're combining whatever mixture you have, massage them and speak whatever you want into existence, speak it into them, because these herbs have a way of influencing things metaphysically. They kind of add to your ashe. They add like a particular kind of element to your ashe based on how their archetype operates in the astral realm, operates etherically, all that kind of stuff. So, also in shamanism, I don't know if anyone of you have ever done like the shrooms before. In shamanism, in psychedelic cosmonaut practice, sometimes I don't really like calling stuff shamanism because it's like borders between kind of appropriation, but then I'm kind of like, I don't know, I'm like black, so I don't really know. That's kind of another conversation, but I like to call it my psychedelic voyages. Shrooms, like different types of plants like ayahuasca, also those are plant spirits that help you interact with another level of consciousness, with another level of reality. And so those are said to have like those are said to be plant spirits. All of these plants have spirits that interact differently with your consciousness. Also the Dogons in Africa, they say that cannabis comes from a star. You never know. I was talking about this with my friend Levon the other day. There have been a lot of meteorites to hit the earth over millions of years. You never know what type of foreign fungi, or what type of plant could have like landed here. You just fucking never know. Like, I mean, period. Like, that's what it is. Because seeds can stand like a lot of heat. So it's like, it's really nothing if a meteorite hits the earth and then it becomes populated by this certain type of plant or organism. So also roots, you know, like I'm saying, like I think in ayahuasca, that's literally a root. That's a tree they boil down, and then they use it in their ceremonies to like interact with different types of spirits and stuff like that. So plants also open portals. We can talk about marijuana. Hey, yes. I got 5 on it. Marijuana, cannabis is also a way. It's a psychedelic. I don't like to say intoxicant or drug. It's a psychedelic plant, period, that can open you up to more freely express whatever you're thinking, you know what I mean? It can help you draw connections. So it also has a lot of beneficial physical properties as well as metaphysical properties. And I'm going to talk about this a little bit more in the video later on whenever I get to give you these listings of these herbs here. You can burn these and they have a metaphysical effect. You can do some of it for love, you can do some of it for cleansing. There's a lot of different ways that you can use these herbs. So also herbology, roots, are very important in Asian cultures around the world, period. So I want to give you a little bit of Osain folklore, mythology. I don't like to call it mythology because I believe it's real. But this happens to be related to Ifa, and Osain is the divine Orisha of plants. And in Ifa, like sometimes it is a part of someone's destiny to work with herbs. For instance, it's part of one of my things or whatever is to work with herbs. So that's the reason I love herbs. My grandmother actually grew a ton of plants and stuff like that. But within the whole cosmology of things, plants also have very spiritual aspects because they are one of the ways that you can achieve the highest self, the highest realization of yourself in this plane, in the marketplace. So Osain is kind of like the knowledge that we have of the herbal system as it relates to healing and also spirituality. And okay, so I really like this reading right here. So I'm going to read this a little bit. From a conceptual standpoint, Osain herbalism is a religion, a philosophy, and a science. This is some other stuff that some people were writing in a blog. But I think it's really cool to think about this in terms of like conceptualizing the importance of roots and herbs as they relate to spirituality. And hoodoo is an offshoot of like Ifa in a lot of ways. Because I mean, Ifa is like in Africa, it's like originates in Nigeria. And there were a lot of enslaved Africans that came over here that were smuggled and stolen and brought over here. So there are a lot of commonalities. But so herbalism, Osain herbalism, or I would say any kinds of ideas about Osain as an Orisha as a system of healing. So healing is achieved through herbs, spiritual baths, right living, diet, rituals, and self-development, which are meant to maintain a healthy and happy life. Osain is a divine journey to the inner self, which encompasses aspects of life. As envisioned by the ancient prophet Orunmila of Yoruba, the Ifa corpus, cosmic intelligence, Osain is the herbalism text. Orunmila saw that dual levels of potentiality existed in the human body. So Osain represents that knowledge of herbs and how they fit into the whole cosmology of the world. So through Osain, we understand that the study of inanimate and animate, manifest and unmanifest, visible and invisible worlds lead to fundamental understandings of the processes of growth and life cycles of trees and plants, the lives of insects, animals, and human nature. So I really love that. And roots are so important. Herbs are so important. And as you can see, as with this, what they talk about, they're very important for keeping in alignment spiritually, physically. They can help you emotionally. I mean, you smoke, you would join. I'm kidding, no. But you can smoke some lavender to calm down, any kind of things like that. You can have some smoking agents to help you with any kind of things you're going through. Okay. So I wanted to give us some examples. So some examples of kind of how you might use these. So in my Instagram video, I posted a video where it's Destiny's Child. I had you can like drip a little bit of alcohol on your herbs whenever you mix them up, and this is actually me over your plants, and whenever you are massaging them, whenever you are like infusing them kind of with your ashe, you can read the Psalms. And so I have this book, it's called Power of the Psalms. So for instance, let's say you're using some herbs and you are doing an uncrossing working because you feel like some people have been doing work against you. So in here, this has overcome those who plot against you. So this is repeating verses 6 and 7 on the parchment, burn the paper and scatter the ashes outside your front doorway. And so this is overcome those who plot against you. And I would say whenever you are using any kinds of herbs and stuff like that, while you are massaging those herbs, say this over it. So, thou makest us a strife unto our neighbors, and our enemies laugh among themselves. Turn us again, O God of hosts, and cause thy face to shine, and we shall be saved. And so this is something that you're saying in order to do an uncrossing. And so let's see, what if you want to attract money? So also here is a psalm to protect the home. So Psalm 18, if you're doing a protection working, the Lord is my rock and my fortress and my deliverer, my God, my strength, in whom I will trust, my buckler and the horn of my salvation and my high tower. So you can call it, I call upon the Lord who is worthy to be praised, so shall I be saved from mine enemies. So this is verse 2 and 3 that you can read out. This is great for receiving the blessings. So receiving God's blessings. So let's say that you that you're doing a money working. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord, my strength and my redeemer. And so you can be saying this over it, because you have to realize, like, the Psalms, the Bible is a grimoire of incantations. It's not really anything that's like, give me a little bit more wine. The Bible is a grimoire. It's a grimoire. So it's full of different incantations, and that's what the Psalms is. So basically, that is basically what you're doing whenever you're reading out the Psalms. So let's say you are looking to increase your psychic abilities or your intuition. For these I pray, God's might to direct me, God's power to protect me, God's wisdom for learning, God's eye for discerning, God's ear for my hearing, God's work for my clearing. Hallelujah! So reading this Psalms 108 is good for success in business. Read the Psalms each morning before going to work. To inspire confidence and an optimistic attitude. Okay. So there are lots of different things that you can do. You can also just do a quick search on the internet for anything that you are looking for. So now let's get into these different types of herbs that you can use and their different uses. So nutmeg, for instance, you can place a whole nutmeg in a green flannel bag, which you can use a green flannel. This is like a mojo. So mojo is basically a little thing, a little piece of, a little baggie that you create, that you use in order to, so nutmeg, whenever you make if you make like a mojo bag basically has different types of ingredients in it that you have charged up metaphysically. And so this is a mojo bag that you can use. So I will say this book right here, Hoodoo, Herb and Root Magic, is by Catherine A. Ironrod, and she is a white woman who kind of like, I don't know, she kind of problematic. She went and got all this information from all these black people and put it in this book. But I'm kind of like, girl, I'm about to take this information. And so I have personally gone through and like, cause some of the stuff I'm kind of like, I don't really know. And I've consulted my own spirits and ancestors about it. Cause I feel like I grew up in Mississippi around a lot of hoodoo and all that kind of stuff culturally. And so I just use my discernment, because in the end, it's about your own ashe. But she does have a lot of good material in here as far as a framework for understanding how to use these herbs and stuff like that. So in this mojo bag, it says you can place a total of 7 items. And so you can do a green flannel bag, 3 silver dimes, 3 money herbs like allspice, cinnamon, and Irish moss, or you can put nutmeg in it. So nutmeg is good for bringing good fortune. It's good for bringing fortune, and also in games of chance. And so allspice also have very similar magical uses. High John the Conqueror root, alfalfa. Yes. Okay, so moving on. If you I don't know if you ever had stinging nettle. So nettle is a strong jinx breaker, and so this is if you're doing a work with the candle working where you want to break a jinx that you feel like someone has put onto you. So this is dry the leaves and mix them with at least one other uncrossing herb. So this is like mint, rue, wahoo, agrimony, and then a jinx breaking mineral like witch's salt. You can use probably like pink Himalayan salt, graveyard dust, or some kind of uncrossing powder. So nettle is great for uncrossing if you feel like you need some extra protection. Okay, so mugwort is great for it's great for psychic work and also safe travel. I didn't really know about the safe travel thing, but I have definitely drank mugwort tea. It is definitely good for heightening your intuition and your like psychic abilities and stuff like that. So this is saying for warning shoes, mugwort is said to prevent fatigue while you're walking. I haven't really heard of that too much, but I will say yes, it does aid in bring success in psychic and visionary work. And so this is, I've definitely heard of keeping it under your pillow. So if kept in a red bag under one's pillow, it aids in the production of clairvoyant dreams. So a tea made from mugwort is used by many to cleanse crystals. I really like that idea a whole lot. To bring forth protective and benevolent spirits, mugwort is burned on charcoal with star anise, althea, and resin incenses like frankincense and myrrh, copal, or benzoin. And copal is like a kind of cleansing herb that is native to like Latin America. So I really, really like that. I love those ideas right there. Lavender is good for good luck and love affairs. Oh, so a bosom sachet. I don't know if y'all grew up around any Southern old people, but they would always keep like their personal belongings and stuff like that in a sachet where they keep it in their bosom. So this is actually that has roots in hoodoo. So this is saying to win the love you desire, wear a sachet filled with lavender flowers in your bosom. This is strong for drawing love from members of the same sex, as well as opposite sex. So for married couples, to enhance satisfying conjugal relations, mix lavender flowers with rosebuds or petals and place them beneath the bed. A tea of lavender, rose, and rosemary added to floor wash is said to grant the woman leadership in love relations within the home. So if you're trying to get your niggas to act right, make this that tea right here. Period. Okay, so also, let's see. I like these right here. This is bay leaves are very, very important in hoodoo. Not only are they very important to make your gumbo good or any jambalaya, crawfish etouffee, but they also have a lot of magical uses. So to clear the mind and see the future, bay leaves, King Solomon, wisdom incense, and frankincense are burned on charcoal. So I think you can just do frankincense and bay and maybe some other kind of thing, maybe like some mugwort. You can burn that to clear the mind and see the future. To ward off evil, folks carry bay in a mojo bag to stop interference by unwanted people. And so when I lived in Chicago and I was doing Lyft, I actually did carry around a mojo bag whenever I was going around doing Lyft and all that kind of stuff. And bay leaves were in it as a source of protection. So, bay leaf in a floor wash is said to get rid of enemy tricks that could be laid at your door, and it's good for uncrossing also. Dried bay is employed as a weekly floor sweep by sprinkling the leaves on the floor and sweeping them out the front door. I like that idea. A lot of times you do see a lot of working with directionality and magic where you're moving things out. You're moving the energy in a certain direction. And so to drive away an enemy, this is interesting. Cut a stick of bay exactly. Don't use that. Shh. So that is basically what some of the uses are with bay. You can use it for a lot of other stuff. So let's see. So this is Damiana. Damiana will get you turned. It'll turn you out. It's an aphrodisiac. Okay, so to draw or to bring back a drifting lover, carry Damiana, balm of Gilead. Jesus is a balm in Gilead. With your straying lover's personal concerns in a flannel bag. I don't really like doing hoodoo work like that. Another way to make your lover return is to soak Damiana in whiskey and sprinkle the liquid on your doorstep for 21 days. That's an interesting right there. That's an interesting one. So for a better sex life, Damiana is called a love herb because it is said to make women willing and to make men ready and increase their nature. So you can smoke it, you can add it to your bath, you can add it to your food. Smoking definitely will help you get turned so. So dandelion is another thing. It's an herb that is great for helping you develop your psychic gifts. And so a tea of dandelion root, when chopped up and brewed into a tea and drunk faithfully 3 times a week, is said to enhance your dreaming ability. Also, we have tobacco. Tobacco is one of those herbs that you can burn, and it helps bring in the presence of the spirits. So burning tobacco, I always burn tobacco before workings and stuff like that. Like Eshu loves tobacco. I burn it for my ancestors. I usually will blow it, you know what I mean? So tobacco is another great herb. Thyme is good for the money. Put that in your candles, child. I'm gonna be doing a candle magic video in a little bit, and like next week, I think, possibly. So thyme is good for increasing your luck. It brings peace during sleep. So to stop nightmares, burn thyme on charcoal. This says so that your children breathe the smoke before they go to bed. So this is for kids, but you can also use this for yourself. For money, plant thyme in the garden, and as it grows, your money will increase. So this is kind of like a money plant. Thyme can be a money plant. Fold a dollar bill around thyme leaves. Fold it again to make a packet. Tie it up and bury it in the middle of a crossroads at the full moon. This is some true hoodoo. Thyme, mint, and bayberry make a good money protection combination. So this is something that you can put in a mojo bag or something like that. Let me know if you want me to do a mojo bag video, because I've made a mojo bag before. It helped me a lot when I first moved here to New Orleans. But thyme is great for money, and it's great for getting rid of nightmares. Okay, so mint. And this is the final one that I'm going to talk about, but mint is really great. Mint breaks jinxes, purifies people, and protects your money. So to repel enemies who trouble your home, job, or money, you can mix mint and balm of Gilead. Jesus is a balm in Gilead. Barberry, Solomon's seal root, and agrimony, and brew them into a tea for a cleansing bath or floor wash. You can also uncross yourself or break a curse. So this is you can use mint. This is for protection from cross conditions. Carry mint in your shoe. Interesting. For psychic abilities and to keep off unwanted spirits, blend mint with frankincense and burn it on charcoal. And so to rid your home of unwanted spirits, mix it with camphor and burn it for 9 nights. So I really like these a lot. And then additional magical uses that you can mix it with is nettle, Solomon's root, thyme, vetiver. So yeah, so this has basically been a little bit of information about hoodoo. This is Roots and Herbs 101. If you have any kinds of questions, let me know. But I think at this point you do have the metaphysical foundation for understanding how roots work and the ways that you can use them so that you can intuitively experiment with doing your own kinds of like hoodoo, conjure, herbalist work. So remember that they have different types of uses metaphysically. A lot of times it is really good to grow your own herbs. Really look and see where the herbs are coming from if you are buying them from other people. And yeah, just let me know if you have any questions. And I'm always sending you love, peace, and blessings.